Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Back row.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere of and they wonder it's not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They brain got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this. Nigga, I eat bars and drink flows, thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, state bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laughing these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number 1 at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this janitor with the mop stick. You gonna need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10, I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk. I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl? I'm talking about another gun. You hear now? Hey, look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas. We burn the crib now. I'm ahead now. And I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clowns. Silences make it sound like raindrop. That's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war. I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex. That's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga. I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Yo, man, we everywhere, man. We all over the globe. My homies. Yeah, with my homies, them niggas is right there. Every day you pair of black boots, sometimes you switch it to night airs. Niggas everywhere like pro class and just like air. Me against the hottest that you know, this is sight there. How you the coolest motherfucker that's mad hot? Always stay in my groove on the move like a laptop. Teacher schooling the youngest, you get shot by a black cop, white cop, Sasquatch foot on your neck. Anything you set your hand to do, just do it the best. I told you I'm the illest lyricist, I prove it to death. If you ain't standing up for niggas, then you muted, you deaf. I got some niggas in the grave that could be using your breath. True, and that's a fact, it's not the 2 Chainz quote. Break a record, fuck a track up like I'm Usain Bolt. Little rapping niggas, they garbage B. Pardon me, it's the art in me, but they talking funny like Cardi B. Nah, but hella shit they ain't dropped yet. My homies worldwide like .org or .net. And we stay sharp, we smart, that's cause we studious. We come with fire with mountain word to Vesuvius. With my homie, covering all bases. Preaching all black, they come from the hard places. With my homie, they be deep in the hood like a mechanic trying to make sure they peoples is good. With my homie, independent in the struggle, focused on the hustle and the cipher and the huddle. With my homie, in every city. With my homie, Let's get it lit, shit. Know who you spitting with, knock on that official shit. Professional with spitting and ripping, king of the British shit. I'm right up at the neck of opponents and hit the gristle grip. I spit it like them rounds out the chopper, and that's the pistol grip. Rapping with succession, if I spit it, you should listen, shit. I spit that strong-minded, well-rounded shit you didn't spit. Slick as motor oil, you flow with boy, you all that chicken shit. We oil you over here, and you water, but we ain't mixing with UPK strong, UPK pop. Yo, I play the cut, listening and watching. My frame of mind ancient and your frame of mind rotten. I'm thinking like the niggas that hated picking the cotton. Every time I spit it, I'm trying to take out the top dog. When we in the cypher, it sound like we letting shots off. But I hit the range cause my record clean and I'm not soft. But rapping what I do, eat the beat and drown it with hot sauce. Rapping so many years, niggas can't figure this nigga out of modern day, the fucking antithesis. Rapping disappeared, I'm just trying to make it clear. Everybody trying to get on like me or my man visitors. My presence when I'm rapping made them fucking ban Christian. Your presence when you rapping like a fucking ventriloquist. We run the world like Ferdinand Magellan. I say with my homies we melting like St. Helen. Where my homies covering all bases, preaching all black. They come from the hard places. Where my homies, they be deep in the hood like a mechanic trying to make sure the people's is good. Where my homies, independent in the struggle, focused on the hustle and the cipher and the huddle. Where my homies, in every city. Where my homies, let's get it litty, nigga.
What's going on, Israel? ISUPK.com is our website. Holding it down like we do every year, bringing all the stories to you. Got the heavy hitters in the building with me. General Micah Allah in the building with me. Yeah. General Hazayan in the building with me. Yeah. Big shout out to General Muhammad. Couldn't be here with us tonight. Lord allow you to be back soon. Holding it down as usual all the time. Of course, Officer Marah and his whole team up in the building, putting it down for us like he always do, working hard in the zone, man. This past Passover, man, it showed that all hard work in the work of the Lord pays off. The amount of brothers and sisters that came out for that Passover was earth-shattering. Y'all scared the sheriff, man, the whole town. Y'all had the whole Cocoa Beach in an uproar because there was so many Hebrews in there. They just expected riots and gunfights and all of that. But the brotherhood and sisterhood was strong. You understand? And it worked out perfectly. Everybody worked real well together, man, to do an amazing job. So big shout out to everybody that held it down. Haas had a good meeting with the brothers over the Passover. Made a lot of improvements and different things. Next year's Passover, we quickly approaching a week of full-on events in the next Passover. Get ready. Because the next Passover, I don't know where it's going to be at, but it's going to be crazy. And say it's this month. They had 5 days, and we ain't even got a location yet. We had 5 days, and we don't even have a location. You got the Passover. You got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You got General Muhammad's class. You got the Black Party. They done made the Black Party official. Come. You got the Black Party. What am I missing? It was one of I'm missing. Oh, you got the Children's Party. Mm-hmm. What else? Fish fry. The fish fry is standard? No, well, I'm talking about next year. For the standard. I think them 5 are the standard. Yeah. Now the fish fry might come in. I don't know. You know what I mean? See what happens next year, depending on the city we in and so forth. See what goes down. But it was amazing, man. It was amazing brotherhood. A lot of brothers realized that coming out the world can now be made easy. Right. I was having a conversation with Captain McCall today, which was real heavy. We were talking about real leadership and proper leadership. Every man is not a genius. Every man is not made to be, in charge of the world. Every man can't, deal with. Some people are farmers. Matter of fact, the majority of people are farmers, are plain people, are simple people. But those people need proper leadership so that they can be able to be a farmer. You can't be a farmer if some guy is preying on your land and preying on your people and seeking to destroy you and make you a servant under them. Then you need somebody who knows the games that they know.
Right.
And that's where good leadership comes in. And the Israelite school of UPK, boy, nobody 20, 30, 40 years ago, everybody thought we was crazy to come out and say that the churches were off as hell. They thought we was out of our damn mind to say that them damn churches was wrong. It was like, how could you say the church is wrong? That's the house of God. How you going to talk about the preacher? When meanwhile, what the Israelite school of UPK has always done was taking the scriptures as a standard and saying to the world, based on these scriptures, this is what's right and what's wrong, and this is what you doing that's wrong that looks right. That's why the Lord said, your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. We turned things upside down, and now the things that are evil, we look at them as good. We think the church is good when the church is wicked as hell. You understand? We think the brothers on the street shooting and killing and robbing. I was watching a news report today where they talk about them gangs going up in them stores and stealing all of that merchandise and selling them online. They got whole gangs of them. They said they stealing $50,000 a day, some of these crews in all these retail stores, selling everything online. You about to be able to get anything you want at a discount on some website simply because it's really stolen goods. And that's wrong that they robbing and stealing. But you better thank God that they exist. And I'm going to tell you why. This is going to sound crazy. I'm not advocating stealing, robbing, doing none of that. The Israelite school of UPK, we don't endorse that. Neither do we do it. We earn and build in a righteous setting of the Most High in Christ. We don't go out and rob. You understand? Our King, Yahawashi, was buried, was crucified on a cross between two thieves. One thief said to the other thief, we deserve what we got. But this man is innocent. We learn from that to be innocent and not be a criminal, but to understand why Christ delivered them to thieves that was on the cross with him, and why you should thank God for them brothers. Them same brothers who's willing to be a criminal and steal to survive, at least they haven't decided to just die under the boots of the slave master. They might be wrong, and they wrong for robbing and stealing and doing all that they doing. But they also got at least an ounce of spirit in them trying to survive in an evil world, in a world that's crushing them to piss. They're trying to figure out a way to survive, and they found out that you black leaders wasn't worth two nickels rubbed together.
Right.
So now, what do them brothers need? They need proper leadership. They need it. Their intentions is right, but the way they going about it is just wrong. That's why they join in gangs and cliques and groups, so they can turn around and have enough force to try to survive. But with the Most High's leadership, with the same man that died on the cross between two thieves and delivered them thieves, said that them brothers going to be in the kingdom of heaven with him, that same brother can teach all of us that was thieves how to not be thieves. He can teach us all that, right or wrong, General. He can bring us all out of that and show us a better way to conquer, because Lord knows we're talking about him 2,000 years later.
Right.
So he obviously had the plan. The two thieves went on the cross with him, but we reading about everything he did 2,000 years ago. So he had the right plan for them thieves. And the Most High got the right plan for every one of these brothers that's out here in these streets, man. He can wake them up and bring them out of that. And guess what? When they come out of, boy, you better get ready. Because when they come out of that world and realize how much evil they was doing that you taught them how to do, when they realize I've been killing my brothers, robbing my people, selling dope to my people, all the while you kept me in poverty and had me destroyed and brainwashed so that I would continue to do it. When they wake up and figure that out, oh, you're going to have a problem then. Because they're going to put twice as much zeal and spirit in rebuilding Christ's kingdom than they did while they was in the world. You thought they was going hard in the world. They're going to go doubly hard in Christ's kingdom. And guess what? Don't worry. They ain't going to shoot you and rob you. They're going to stop shooting and rob. But they're going to build a kingdom. And guess what? The Lord going to do the rest. You don't believe me? You better go look at that footage of Ukraine. You better go look at that footage of Ukraine. What you see in them bombed out buildings in Ukraine, that's the future of all European countries, according to the Bible. According to the Bible, brothers, right or wrong. Does not the Lord say, let him not build? What is it? Isaiah 14. Get it for me real quick. Then I'm going to the story. Y'all jump in anytime. Does not the Most High say that let them not build cities no more, cover the face of the earth with cities?
Yes, sir.
Am I lying?
No, sir.
So if the Lord said it, you better get ready. You better get ready. Pelosi went over there, promised Ukraine all the money they want, all the weapons and guns and everything they can get their hands on. Putin said he's about to declare full-out war on Ukraine. I think that's one of the stories we're going to do tonight. So you better wake up, man, and see what's really going down. Come on, warrior. Put me in play.
14:21.
You can go right to the part where he said, let him not feel, is that 21?
Yes, sir.
The water jump.
Khan. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
For the wickedness their fathers did, the Lord said, get them ready. Get them ready. How you prepare them? Letting them know what's going to happen. When you get ready to cook a chicken, what do? You wash the chicken. Put a little vinegar on it, kill any germs on it. You clean and defeather the chicken. Then you're going to cut up some onions and some carrots and some peppers. You're going to throw that in there. You're going to hit the seasoning, pepper, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, all them different seasonings. You preparing the chicken. What are those things saying? If somebody walk in the kitchen and see you putting this thing on the chicken, what they going to think? Oh, are you about to cook that chicken? I see you seasoning it. What you going to say? Yes, I'm about to cook this chicken. Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Well, the Lord said what? Prepare what?
Prepare slaughter for his children.
How you prepare slaughter? Warning him. Opening them scriptures and prophesying on him. And showing him what he did before the Lord, because the judgment is going to be written. The Lord up in heaven, he got the books. He waiting on you.
Right.
He waiting on you to leave off of the world and say, Lord, they did this. Most High going to say, oh, finally you picked it up. Okay. Lord, they did this to us. Okay. Writing that down. And the witness will be true because you did it. Prepare slaughter for them. That's how you prepare them. Go ahead, Op.
Khan, sir. For the iniquity of their fathers.
For the wickedness their fathers did. Come on.
Khan. That they do not rise.
That's it. That they do not rise. As they rose, you fell. Now you gonna rise, they gonna fall. Right or wrong? Read.
Khan, sir. Nor possess the land.
That they never possess the land again. Guess what? When they can never possess the land again, you could be a simple farmer. You ain't even gonna have to have a third grade education. You're gonna have a wonderful life. If you got a second grade, third grade education, you're gonna get a piece of land that comes as your inheritance. And nobody can take that land from you. Even a king can't take that land from you. It's part of your heritage. No man can take that land from you. And you're going to be able to farm on that land. They're going to come up and see you and say, hey, what's up, bro? You're going to be like, hey, what's up, man? You're going to be like, hey, man, how you been? Okay. You ain't going to be able to talk if you don't want to. But guess what? You're going to still survive. You're going to have your animals. You're going to have your crops. You're going to have your wives and your kids. And it ain't going to matter. Why? Because you're going to have Christ and his disciples ruling over your kingdom. You ain't going to have to worry about what happens to you. We was talking about this today. Anytime y'all ready, y'all can go ahead.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Finish it.
Nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Nor fill the face of the world with cities. Get ready. Because what you seeing in Ukraine, you about to see all over the place. You about to see all over the place. They talking about the inflation on the food. They sit up there like, we know everything is high. We know everything is going up, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. One of these is not going to be fine. One of these events is not going to be fine. They said the Federal Reserve right now is trying to slow down the inflation in the United States. They're trying to slow it down, which means they got to raise interest rates and everything. They got to raise certain things up to slow it down. And they worry that if they raise it up too much too fast, it's going to crash into the recession and everybody will stop spending money. And then they really jammed up. You cannot sustain a world without the Most High. You can't do it. The angels won't let you do it.
That's right, sir.
Look at us. In our ignorance, we thought we could sell dope, man, and become millionaires. Instead, we getting 20, 30 years in the penitentiary, life with no parole. Sometimes they never commit the crime and still getting 20 years. You can't build nothing without the Most. I don't care who you are. Entertainers, they all on drugs, going to jail. Johnny Depp, you see them tapes of Johnny Depp? That old broad in there whooping his ass in there. This nigga worth $350 million. This bitch in there beating his ass. $350 million. Nigga, hire a bodyguard. Yeah. Do something. Get a gun. Do something. She up in there busting his ass. They said she had to hire a new team to a new PR team, because when the tapes came out of how she was whooping Johnny Depp's ass, they said they want to cancel her new movie. They try to destroy the broad. You know they love Johnny Depp. He Pirates in the Caribbean. You know they love his ass. You know what I'm saying? He got him on the stand. Your Honor, basically the bitch was beating my ass. I'm worth $300 million, but this bitch here is kicking my ass. It was sad. Go ahead, you guys. Excuse my French, yo.
I could, sir. It's on audio. They said that she defecated on him.
God damn. Good night, $350 million. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you, it's a lot of women in Hollywood that know how to psychologically abuse you. Yeah. And that and given enough time, he was married to her like 17 years or something like that, right? You know, and given enough time, that psychological abuse can turn into physical abuse. That's why you need the truth. Once again, you can't build without the Most High. The Lord got rules for men and women, and you can't go outside them rules. You can't go outside them rules and create other genders and other this, and you can't do it. You do it, it's going to go bad. And that's what happened to him. That's what happened to Will Smith. You trying to appease things that's outside of the Most High. You trying to come up with philosophies, Scientology and all this old stupid nonsense outside of them rules. When you don't, that's going to mess you up. Staying in them rules will keep you safe, regardless of whether you understand them or not. You may not understand the rules, but you know the Lord said I got two genders, male and female. That's it. You know that? That's all you working with. That's all you working with. Everything else, you don't know what that is. You don't need to know what that is. It ain't that important. You need to know what it is the Lord said. Give it to me, y'all. Back me up. Stack it. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
That's where you start at. And they didn't start on that. He in there whooping her behind up in there. I mean, it was ridiculous. Her career might be over behind this. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Yeah, that's where you begin with knowledge. Go ahead.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Right. Fools despise wisdom and instruction, man. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. You got to get that wisdom and instruction out. And that come out of that book called the Bible. Without that book, you ain't gonna have no wisdom and instruction, right or wrong.
That's right.
It's gonna be a mess. You know, man, Haas, I gotta get me one of them. That joint nice. That little holder.
Oh, shit.
Phone. I
Great,
like
sir.
that
Yes, sir.
joint.
Come on.
All right, let's go to y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's hit them stories. Let's see what we can get into, y'all.
If I could, sir. Real fast. Also, too, you know, the scriptures say, yeah, women are strong. Like she don't want to knock a crown off a king and won't nothing happen to her. But the Bible said the truth bear away with the victory at all times. They strong, but the truth is stronger than them. That's why what Commander GEN.YAHANNA is saying is so heavy and so right for us to follow what the Lord said follow. When the Lord said the beginning of the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, you're going to fear the Most High so much that you're going to do what's right. Yep. You see what's going on out here? And listen, he ain't the only one getting his butt beat in the house. Yep. It's a whole lot more that we don't know about. Yep. Imagine, there's a whole lot more in Hollywood, in your own neighborhood and everything. Yep. But it's happening because they rejecting the word of the Lord. They rejecting the truth, man. You see what happened with the brother, Will Smith, then he want to go over to Bengali, over there in India. They get some sort of knowledge and great wisdom about what's going on with him, man. Running and hiding from the Lord. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, man. Getting back to who you are according to the Lord. Yeah. You understand me? That's what's going to keep you safe. And what's going to have you conquer in this earth and conquer your household, man. Yep. The fear of the Lord. And do what the Most High say do. Like how Commander GEN.YAHANNA said, these records been here for thousands of years. And everybody tried to decipher them. But the records said clearly that, yeah, women are strong, but the truth is stronger than women. It bears the victory always. So how do you conquer that? How do you conquer your woman? By getting your butt here in the truth, doing the Lord say do, man. Having enough fear inside you to know that, okay, if I go off, man, the Most High going to punish the heck out of me. And he can use my woman to do it. You understand me? The truth is what's going to bear the victory away, man. That's like I said.
Yeah, I'm right. If I can get a scripture, just to piggyback off of you and General Haas, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, you die?
Oh, wait, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Amanabath Yahawada said Jada, and now Jada wants a divorce. Is that true? Jada Pickett wants a divorce now? Meaning, in other words, his career done sunk now. Now that his career is sunk, he done lost the movie deals, all that disgusting broad is out. She's out. That's that easy. That is a sickly narcissistic broad. That's a crazy ass broad.
She sure is good.
You know what I'm saying? Well, there's always the Israelite school, UPK. Get in all black. See you on Saturday. It's a joke. It's a joke. If he give her half his money and walk away, he's better off than being with her with all his money.
That's right.
And being with that monster with all his money. You understand? You mean in this world too, they allowing them LGBTQ, RST, elemental P, all these different acronyms. Well, they about to get another one. Okay. The MW, the multiple wives. What about that one? You know what I mean?
Right,
with the
right.
It need to be LGBTQ MW.
Right.
Multiple wives gender. You understand? Will Smith need to go out and take 100 sisters out the ghetto. I'm marrying all y'all sisters and change all y'all lives and do it publicly and let Jada see them all. Put all them bitches in Versace dresses. Get their hair done and all that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Every time he pull up to the movie, he said 100 broads coming out with him, marrying all of them. Like, you got to stop being a slave in this empire. You got to break that spirit. And that's what do you think the Bible is about? The Bible is about true freedom of your spirit. The true spirit of a man being able to come out, the true spirit of a woman being able to flourish and come out and be amazing. And it means there's rules to it. It means there's rules, both for men and women. You apply the rules, you're going to go as far as you want to go. You're going to go as far as you want to go. Salaki, go ahead.
No, sir. Get down, sir.
That was it. I think that was it. Go ahead. Okay. Where we at?
I have the scripture for Jeremiah. I think it passed. You can go into the next one. Comic-Con. That's heavy. Like, Will Smith need to see
Like he's free. He can be free. You know what I'm saying? But what you say? He going to India, huh? Go see in the Punjabis, huh?
Right, right. Like now he need to get fixed.
Right.
He ain't gonna go to his brothers.
Right.
Now he need to get listen. He made rap music and got rich off of brothers. Went and got a TV show, got rich off of brothers.
Yeah.
Then made it into the white world, start flipping movies, and still added more money to him because brothers was also going, brothers and sisters going to see his movies.
Right.
And then after all of that, the East Indians ain't do nothing for it.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you're gonna go see some guru with dreadlocks from India worshiping some god with 6 arms.
Yeah.
Now that's who the hell you going to see, you understand, of, to fix your psychological problems because you done had this disgusting monster.
Yeah.
You need to go back to the hood, man. I'm telling you, Will Smith need to come see me, man.
Yeah, right.
He need to just simply come see me and sit down 30 minutes with Will, and I have his whole head straightened out.
Yeah,
You going
right,
to see them East Indians like they gonna fix your problem. Some dumb, stupid guru, some white producer done told you, yeah, he helped me greatly. He helped me out. It was wonderful. He got my head together. I was straight. Going to listening to them fools, man. Black people better come back to black people.
That's right, sir.
Latino people better come back to Latino people. Native Indians better come back to Native Indians. And all 3 of you better all come back to Christ as one.
Right.
What you all better do. And when you do, everything is going to open up to you, man. Everything is going to open up to you. Only a slave think he need another nation to fix himself. That's why you following the white God. That's why you following the Arab God. That's why now he going to follow the East Indian God. Like Tina Turner and the rest of that. Worshiping a God that's supposed to eat a cabbage. You got to put a cabbage and some tomatoes out in front of your God. Nigga, he can't cook his own food. I don't even want to talk to it. What the hell he gonna help me with? You know, he gonna help fix my problem. This nigga can't cook his own food. Get me where the Lord said, if the sheep on the highest hill, if I was hungry, I wouldn't even be asking you. You know how it go. He said, the Lord don't come to you to eat. When the Lord said, listen, man, I need a little meal, you hook a brother up. The hell you need that? Listen, Abraham went and made a meal for the angels. When they got finished talking with him, they jumped in the goddamn fire and burnt up everything. Ain't eat a damn thing. So it's ridiculous, man. You going to some East Indian god. And listen, they good snake charmers. They good BS artists. With that old funny voice. Come over here. We're going to help you very much.
Big on that weed too.
You know what I'm saying?
That God Shiva that they worship,
right?
With the man's body, woman's face.
Yes, he was the first transsexual.
Good.
He was the first LGBT. Michael Jackson used to go check it. Would say that was his people. Michael Jackson. To this day, I was traumatized. I was traumatized. I'm in the ghetto in the Bronx in a room. They interviewing Michael Jackson, a black man from Gary, Indiana, from the hood. This nigga get up on there and say the East Indians is his people. I'd like to kill that nigga after that. Go ahead, Salaki.
I was going to say, sir, what you bringing out is so heavy. You also did a powerful tape, sir, about how when the coronavirus came through and hit India, on how many of them, I don't know if we can pull up the footage, of many of them were carrying away their gods, and most of them was throwing their gods down the river.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
I know Marah got it in there. They was throwing them gods out, just like the Lord said, you shall cast out your gods like a menstruous cloth. God get wrong with you. You gonna cast out your God like a coattail, nigga. That should have been in there. The prophet should have wrote nigga. That'll woke everybody the hell up. You understood who he was talking to. Simple as you could damn be. We gotta stop being dumb about how we go forward with the Lord. There it is. Look at them big. They brought a truckload of them gods. God's big as hell, man.
And sir, if I could, this is who he go see when he got a problem. Are you kidding me? Like they realize they guys ain't doing nothing for them. They got to get rid of them doing all this pandemic, all that death and killing going on. And they realize they God's nothing.
Listen, all those are statues. Those are the little statues. They throwing it off the bridge.
I don't want to come.
Look at that. Look at that. They throwing them off the bridge. And like, I'm sorry, Haas. I didn't cut you off. Go ahead.
You too out. You good. You good.
Like, come on, man. He gonna go, like you said, Haas. He gonna go all the way. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Threw them old disgusting gods off the damn truck. Like, it's a joke, man. It's a joke that you have, and it shows you need right leadership. Yeah. I'm not going to nobody else's God. Yeah. I don't want to know about him. I don't care about him. I don't care. I want the nigga God. That's the God I'm interested in. Who is the God of niggas? Because whatever he tell me to do, that's what I'm going to do. What I'm following some other God for, so I can get a crumb from they people. When I go see the nigga God, and whatever he tell me to do, I'm going to see that nigga. So like, you know what I'm saying?
And dude, look at it. They got the authority overseeing it. They got a cop watching traffic, holding up traffic.
Yeah, look at it. Look,
protect them so they get rid of them.
Oh my God!
Everybody know what's going on.
Look! There goes Shiva, or whatever the hell God that was.
Oh, Nam Shibai. Oh,
Right.
Nam Shibai.
God. I can't believe Will going over there to see that, man. You need to get you a bottle of liquor and come down to the corner and sit with them brothers on the corner. You're going to get more info than you're going to get from that guru. Yeah, that guru going to take you for about $1 million. You understand? Burn some incense, put some goddamn beads around your neck. You understand? Feed you some of them East Indian, all them spices. You're going to halfway go into a coma of sweat. You're going to have a damn sweat fit from all them spices they going to give you. Have you smoke some weed, smack you upside your head and tell you God have blessed you. You think you're going home with wisdom. You're going home to court, to divorce court with Jada. Get you a bottle of what the brothers in the hood drink these days? Jack. Get you a bottle, get you the big bottle of Jack. Lord knows you can afford it. And come right on down to the hood and sit your ass on that corner and say, niggas, can y'all help me? And I guarantee you, whatever they tell you, crazy as they might appear to be, it's going to be better than anything you could get from that East Indian. And if you really want to get it fixed, just come see me. I got you. You know what I mean? Let's get it on, man. Listen, Sawat Shemawan said something good. He said, Will Smith should have gone into any black barber shop. You right. You know, walk into any, it might have, now listen, they ain't about ignorant as $2 bill also, but they smarter than the East Indians. You understand? They smarter than them. They may not have known what to do, many cases, but they smarter than them, so you so right. You know what I mean? Let's go. Where we at?
Concert. Quite a bit more than that. Video evidence elevates incident initially reported as horseplay to charges for student who choked a black schoolmate until he passed out.
Damn. We'll show you they racism, brother, is rising as they trying to get Donald Trump back in. And I already knew they're getting ready to hit Donald Trump with indictments all over the country. Watch. They already talking about indicting him in Georgia. They talking about indicting him in New York. They trying to indict him because they don't want him to run from president no more. He's outside of the purview of those that run this empire. He done ran afoul with those that run the empire, and they don't want him to run again for president. They trying everything they can to get him to not run for president. And if he doesn't run, which he sounds like he's trying to run, if he runs, they're gonna try to make sure he cannot get back in office simply because they don't want what they saw to happen. They know that him in office means them Edomites is going to rise up into their racism like you've never seen before. They already know. They already know that the undercurrent of racism from these Edomites is bubbling underneath the surface. And they waiting and waiting and waiting for their opportunity. That's why they doing stuff like Uday is reading now. Give us a little bit more, Uday.
Connor Wakan, sir. A Kentucky middle school is the site of a potential hate crime after a white student strangled and assaulted a black student in the school's bathroom. Video of the incident captures racial slurs being used as the attacker places the child in a chokehold until he loses consciousness.
We got video of this. Like they said that they.
Right, we got video of this.
Like this is ridiculous. This is insane. Go ahead.
Officer who says this is an isolated event.
Take a look at this troubling photo. A screenshot from a viral video involved two students in the school bathroom. A white student holds a black student in a chokehold. In the video, you can also hear racial slurs.
It was reported to school staff as kind of a horseplay incident, and then once the video surfaced later, it was discovered it was quite a bit more than that.
School resource Officer Jordan Bias says incidents like this do not happen often, but he takes assaults like this very serious.
Stuff like this, I mean, personally.
Imagine
Kentucky,
this.
sir.
That's the Midwest. This is what's going on all across America. And the more white the town, the more emboldened they feel to harm us. All that's going on in the world, like they ain't harming no white, they ain't finding no Russians and harming them.
Mm-hmm.
Your president just gave them $100 billion. You ain't mad at them? They supposed to be your enemy. They got $100 billion from you, but you ain't beating up and choking no Russian kid. Y'all ain't doing none of that. It's always us.
Or the Muslims. Huh?
They fight the Arabs, and they go to war with the Arabs. We the ones get mistreated. They go to war with the white man. We the ones get mistreated. We get mistreated by these people, man, regardless of who their enemy is. And then they expect us to be patriotic. Expect you to be patriotic and be like, yeah, America first. America's number one. When meanwhile, you turn on us anytime you get a new enemy. Well, it's time. Christ is bringing the time to an end that you're going to be able to put your hands on us any kind of way you want, man. Mm-hmm. The time is coming to an end where you're gonna fear mistreating us again. Damn right. You're gonna fear us when we come to your city, your town. You're gonna fear us. When them ships coming overhead, man, and we roll up into the gates of your city to talk to you about something you did, you're gonna be scared to death. And you deserve to be, because that's how the hell we living every time we get in our car. Yep. Like what you don't understand is the Lord said, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Mm-hmm. You don't understand that. You only understand it with us. And we reaping what we sow. We commit a crime, we going to jail. Yeah. Getting more time than we deserve for the crime. We getting shot, killed, on drugs. We getting paid. We getting punished for every single sin we ever did. We ain't getting away with nothing. But you are getting away with it. Right or wrong?
Yeah, right, General. If I could, sir, you heard what he said in the interview. He said, this don't happen often. When he said this don't happen often, meaning this didn't happen before, they kind of swept under the rug. Or they had other issues that happened and didn't come out to the light. But this one did. That's why he said we don't have this problem often. That's key when he said that. Meaning he know they got a problem in that area, in that town. Yeah. And these kind of things that happened before. That's why he said often. When he said often, my mind went bing, bing, bing. Like, this didn't happen before. This ain't rare. This is common amongst that neighborhood and where they living at. Which is why he said often. And they don't tolerate it. I hear you don't tolerate it. That's why you said often, because you know it happens more than what you want everybody to understand or know.
Yeah. And he's trying to downplay it. You know what I'm saying? It happened before, but it don't blow up this big all the time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It don't get this big. They're usually able to get away with it without it being so, publicized. Yeah. Can I get a scripture, Jimmy? Psalms 149:8. You know what I'm saying? Like, their day is coming. Like you bring it up, we don't get away with nothing in America, man.
No, we do not.
We don't get away with nothing. We hurt somebody, the smallest infractions, we pay the highest penalty for it. Mm-hmm. You understand? And like you said, they've been getting away with it. But guess what? We got a God in heaven. We got a God in heaven that knows their crimes and records their crimes. And one day they will pay. Read your day.
Honorable Khan, sir. Psalms chapter 149 and verse 8. To bind their kings with chains.
Like one day they will be locked up and arrested for their crimes.
Damn right.
By who? By us, by the Israelites, by our great king and all the brothers that roll with him. Read.
Khan on Khan, sir. And their nobles with feathers of iron.
So they getting arrested. They're going to be held accountable. That day is coming. Read.
Khan on Khan, verse 9. To execute upon them the judgment written.
To execute upon them the judgment written, man. Go ahead.
Khan on Khan, sir. This honor have all his saints.
And this is heavy how the Lord say it's an honor. He said it through David in the song. Like to arrest them and hold them accountable for all their crimes that they get away with. Like, you know, you look at them and they commit murder and crimes and how they treat us daily. And it's like swept under the rug. It's made light. It's made like, oh, that was just a mistake. We're going to look past it. All them things, they're going to answer for it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to answer for it. And that's going to be a beautiful day, General. Beautiful day. Enduring this hell is going to be well worth the judgment that the Lord going to allow us to execute on them.
It's going to be bad. You think Ukraine bad? The Lord going to dismantle every city. Every city. The script. Give me the one where it said the gate shall stay open day and night to bring in the forces of the Gentile. You think they scared of Putin? Shit. Wait till they got to deal with Christ. Wait till they got to deal with the people they had in slavery for 400 years. Wait till you got to deal with that. Wait till you got to deal with all the things that you've done. Like, that's why they don't want to come out with it and tell the truth that we're the lost 12 tribes of Israel, because they don't want you to ever be able to see just how much evil has been done to you. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 11. Therefore, thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut.
Wait, go above that. Go above that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy wall.
The sons of strangers shall build up thy wall. They're going to be coming from all over the earth to go back and build your city up in captivity. Chinese, Japanese, Russians, Mongoloids, Kazakhstans, Uzbekistans, cats from all over the world, places you never even heard of. They're going to be over there building up your walls, repairing. They're going to realize the whole world got screwed up because you took God's chosen people out of action. You understand? You tried to move the Lord out of action because you had us in captivity. You were supposed to put us in captivity, but you wasn't supposed to wipe us out. You could have utilized us for our wisdom. Instead, you stole everything from us. You understand? Used it for yourself. Built your empire great. Going in outer space. That's our technology, man, they going out there with. We created all of that. They lie and say they created it. You didn't know what electricity was until we came along and discovered it, man. We did that, and then you stole it and said, well, it was Bell. It was Bell. What was his name? Forget his name. Thomas Edison. One of them fools. Graham Bell and all them. Those was thieves and gangsters, man. Wall Street brokers that had money to rob and steal and pillage, like Donald Trump and the rest of them that's doing it today. Robbing and stealing. Hating the Issacharites, the Mexicans, and meanwhile you in the hotel business with none but Mexicans, keeping your hotels up, making them beautiful, making people come to your hotels, man. Meanwhile, that's the people you turn on and lock their babies up in cages for all the wealth and all the work they did to make your hotels great. You took their babies and put them in cages, man. Judgment of the Most High is a horrifying thing. And as we get closer to it, watch how much angry white people are going to get with us. They're going to get more angry with us simply for talking about the Lord's judgment. That's going to be the worst topic in the world. After a while, is God's judgment. They're going to demand that every church stop talking about the Lord's judgment. They're going to demand it. Because they ain't going to want no churches talking about that judgment, because they're going to know how frightening it is to the rest of the world to even discuss it. It's going to be bad. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. And their king shall minister unto thee.
And their king is going to be the guy coming to serve you. You'll be like, man, where that cat at, man, to bring my wine? And it's going to be somebody's king Gonna be coming up in there with rags on, bringing your wine.
God.
I'm here, sir. Meanwhile, he was a king in that kingdom. Now he in Christ's kingdom, he gonna be your servant. All these rich people, they all coming back. Every last one of them are coming back in this judgment.
Right.
You understand? And they ain't gonna be senators and congressmen and kings and rulers. They're gonna be slaves.
One kind.
They're gonna be servants, even though they in power now. Go ahead.
Kind of a con, for in my wrath I smote thee.
Woo! In his wrath, the Lord know how to smite, don't he?
Yes, sir.
Because he whooped our behind in his wrath. Put us down like you kill a dog. He put us down. He put us down for everything we did. He put us down hard. He put us down hard. First, the Romans slaughtered us over there in Israel. In 70 AD, killed all of us, man, all out in the desert. We ran all in the desert down in the south. The Edomites came along and slayed us. What's the big mountain over there with the famous story of the brothers and sisters that killed themselves? Masada. Go look up Masada. The mountain, Mount Masada. Go look up that story of our brothers and sisters trying to run up in the mountain and hide our babies from the Roman Empire. The Josephus wrote about it when he became a Roman general, how horrible the massacre was. We was up in the mountains, man, hiding. Up in one of the highest mountains, Masada. We up there hiding, trying to feed the wives, feed our babies. Some Uncle Tom sellout, stepping, fetching Negro turned around and showed the Romans the secret passageway and how we was getting water and food up on the mountain. The Romans came and blocked it out so we couldn't get food and water. We was up on the mountain starving while they shooting arrows and slings up there trying to kill us. To where our back was up against the wall, which is against our laws to kill ourselves. But our backs was against the wall, and we saw our sons and daughters and our babies sitting up there starving, ready to die. We instead said, man, we're going to kill them ourselves. Took our own children's lives and then took our lives, man, to not fall in the hands of the Roman Empire. That's how the Lord put us down, man. He going to put you down the same way. He put us down and slaughtered us. We ran down for 1,500 years, running down there from the damn Africans, man, whom you love to worship. Running from them, they slaying us, killing us, enslaving us. Them Arabs still enslaving us to this day over there in Libya and different African countries. You can't even go to certain African countries. You might get put in slavery not knowing where you're going. Y'all glorifying Africa. Africa, come to Africa. People going to Africa, going missing over there. You think you going over there to paradise in peace and be loved by the Africans. They don't love you. They don't love you. They don't speak your language. They can't stand you. They think you wasting your time over here in America. They think you in the land of opportunity and you're supposed to be a millionaire over here. They don't know the real story. They hearing the propaganda making them think, why the hell you in America, man, and you ain't a millionaire? What you doing here in Africa? You go over to Africa, they want you to pay for everything up front. They treat you like you supposed to be a millionaire, and if you not, come on and give us this damn money. They mad and angry with you when you come over there. They don't show you that on the surface. You dumb and stupid. You think you walk over there, oh, Africa, black people, look, black, everything black. You big and dumb. Just because a nation is dark don't mean they your people. Right. There's thousands of dark nations on the earth. Go do some history and some record checking. Wake up to this world, man. Wake up to what has happened to you. You can't be a baby no more. You can't hide behind funny clothes and drugs. You can't do that no more. You got to wake up and come up out of that mess, man. Africans can't stand you. They want your money, though. They want your money, but they don't want you. They know who they was selling. Give me some more. They know just who the hell they was selling.
But in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
The Most High said in his favor, even though he beat us and broke us, then they brought us to the shores, put us in chains, man. Stacked us up in them cargo ships, urinating and defecating on each other. They knew they wasn't going to take us out. They brought you in them ships. They took a big-ass piece of cork. Same way you cork a bottle of liquor, they used a big-ass cork and shoved it up your rectum to make sure you couldn't take a dump until they got across that river. That's right. That's right. And so the only part that would come out of the cork was the diarrhea, because they couldn't stop the liquid from coming out. The liquid would die. Of course, you're going to get diarrhea because your body's trying to digest what it can't push out. If it can't push it out, it digests it and breaks it down into liquid. So the liquid is running out of your behind while the cork is up your rectum, is running out of your behind and coming down the tears on all the people below you. They chained up on a bunk, chained up, really, if you could call it a bunk. You chained up on a bunk with a piece of wood over you and another cat chained up right on top of you. The whole damn boat smelling like hell because everybody defecating and urinating on themselves. You on that bottom bunk, you getting 4, 5 cats urinating and defecating on you. That's the inhumanity in which you was treated. The Lord brought it on us for breaking his laws. And if you understood that, you would fear the Most High.
Right.
Right or wrong?
That's right, gentlemen.
You'd be scared to death of the Most High. You'd be terrified of him. There it is. Break it down for him, huh? There it is. Look at that. That was all slaves. That's packing cargo. They was packing cargo. Look how well they packed that cargo. Those are bodies, man. Lined up to every inch of the daggone ship. Except for them back 2 areas that they needed for the motors or whatever the hell they was using back then. I don't think it was motors. It was something. They was using coal or whatever. Whatever they was using to move them ships. It wasn't just sails. Look how many brothers and sisters packed up on there. They said the only time they brought you up above deck was when the stench got so bad that they couldn't take it, where their own sailors couldn't take it. So they brought everybody up on the deck and hosed everybody down. You had to come up on the deck. They'd strip you naked and hose you down on the deck, male and female. Then they had a port on the inside the belly of the ship where they spray the whole inside of the ship with water and swap it down. They call it swapping down. With a big-ass mop, they'll swap it down, and all the urine and the defecation will go down into the water. Pull the plug on it and let all the water and the defecation and everything come up out of it, man. And then get ready to bring you back down and chain you back up. And, of course, what did brothers do? As soon as they finished getting hosed off the edge of the deck, they took their chance in the ocean rather than put back in them chains and have to be back down below deck. If you go back right here in Philadelphia, if you could get the insurance records. Remember, Philadelphia used to be the capital of the United States. So Philadelphia is where the insurance companies were. Yep. The insurance companies that insured them cargoes, they got manifests of all the slaves that came over in them ships. And guess what they got in the manifest? The losses that the cargo took. Because they had to pay insurance on every slave that died, that came over and died. They had to pay insurance on it. So they had manifest. 20 slaves died on this trip. 10 slaves died on this trip. 5 slaves died on this trip from brothers and sisters jumping overboard. Some of them just attacked the guards so they'd kill them. Did all kinds of stuff to try to survive. The Lord put us down. You white people, you better get ready, boy. Because we can't even be as cruel as you. The Lord going to have to punish you on the level you need to be punished. That's why he bring in nuclear war, because we'd be too merciful. As mad and angry as we are as a people, we such a beautiful and merciful people that we would not kill you the way you need to be killed by the hand of God. So that's why the Lord said, I ain't leaving it to you. I'm going to deal with that. I'll deal with that. So they'll never build cities no more. So they'll never build that thing again. That's what the Lord said he was going to do. So that they would never, ever, 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 ever build another empire in this world. Go ahead, Doc. They ain't even mentioned it in school. They trying to sanitize it in school. That's right. Wow. They trying to sanitize. Yeah. I bet you they probably don't even use the word slavery. Are they at least using the word slavery still? But you ain't seeing. See that? So they ain't even bringing out the horror that they did. This is which is why academics are trying to bring in critical race theory, but they making a mistake. You trying to educate a beast that don't want to be educated, which is the mistake that they making. Let them push it out the history books. Educate our brothers and sisters. Give them the mic. They saying what?
Teaching us in History 101 and on open index is online for all the college students at SHALAM. They saying that slaves were able to get paid in cash, like in order to buy their own stuff. They were saying that certain slaves had what's called a slave badge produced out of Charleston, North Carolina, which would allow them to leave on and off the plantation.
They're gonna make slavery look nice.
They said they were able to leave on and off the plantation as they please, and whenever they did a job, like these people who possessed the slave badge would have special skills and trades like carpentry and stuff like that. And as far as what I heard, what my father always told us, slaves weren't able to learn how to read and stuff like that.
Not only that, they did have brothers that they taught skills to. Okay. And here's why it was so evil. First of all, why do you think he needed a badge? When he left the slave plantation, like he needed a badge because if somebody saw him without the badge, they was gonna put him in slavery. They was gonna put him back. They was gonna say, "Oh, we got a slave out here. Put him in chains and take him back to his plantation." So he had to have a badge that said, "I'm Mr. Washington's slave, and papers are for me to go over to Mr. Johnson's plantation so I can rebuild his barn." So then somebody see it and be like, "Oh, okay. All right, you got passage, nigga, but make sure you stay on this road when you come back this way." You understand? So it wasn't, so they trying to twist it, of course, trying to make it like it's love, when really it's just like today. You got to have your driver's license, your papers better be in order, because they pulling you over. And why are they racially profiling you? Because it's the same thing. Where are you slaves going? Why you out off your plantation? I can't stand, if I could real quick, I cannot stand when cops ask me where I'm going. Oh my God. I be hoping they don't ask me, because I know I'm about to make this pick. I'm trying to just keep on the road. I know I'm gonna piss this cop off the minute he say that. I'm real good. "Oh, how you doing, officer? Everything all right?" He's like, "Yeah, everything's all right. Let me get your license registration." I know how to be polite. So I hand him my license registration, but then he come with that. "So where you heading?" I be like, because I'm not going to answer. I'm not telling you where I'm going. You understand? Because that's it. The Nazis did that. Yeah. The slave masters did that. We not doing that no more. You know what I mean? Don't be trying to do that to us. Go ahead, Ux.
This part is going. This is the last thing I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
This part going to get to you. The only time they speak of genocide is when it's in regards to the war with the British coming over here, and it's this big war between British and Spain. And the way they word is that after they speak on the slave badges, they say the slaves betrayed the United States and started going over to Britain because the British was offering them better deals as far as money, as far as compensation, and telling them, "Oh, you don't have to work on the plantation and stuff for somebody else. You know, we'll give you your own." And they said all the slaves started to betray America. And betrayal is a funny word, because we would have to be like have some trust before I can betray you. You know, like
the British being using war tactics simply said, we'll give you freedom if you turn on this government that has had you in slavery. And that's a simple, like, what slave don't want to be free? They acting like they betrayed us. Them niggas betrayed us. They can't rely on them. They ain't come through. Meanwhile, you got them in slavery. Of course, they went and joined the British and said, hell no, let me get free from the British. Of course they did that. You understand what I'm saying? But they putting it in the books. They just trying to make it so sweet, which is, once again, black leadership is horrible in this country. If black leaders had their head right, they would be saying, okay, we're going to start on the 20-year mission. And here's what we're going to do. If Christ don't return in 20 years, all of our children will be properly educated in the history of what has been done to us. And they'll be properly educated in a way that we can now turn around and mobilize ourselves as a people to help ourselves. They'll grow up with a sense of identity. Like you, if you grow up with no sense of who you are, brother, you lost in the world, right or wrong. You completely lost in the world if you don't have no sense of who you are. That's what growing up is about. That's what being a teen is about. You getting with your boys, you with the jocks, or you with the techies, or you with the what they call them, the geeks. You getting in your group, your personality. You understand? You in the mating, you getting women like you identifying yourself. But then there's another level of identity that comes when you become an adult about who your people are, who your nation is, who your identity is. Now, this man go and steal all of that from you. You can't be a person. How the hell are you going to be a person with no goddamn identity and sense of yourself? Right. Which is why we've been able to be fooled in this. We walking around being Muslims with Arab garments on. We ain't Arabs. We ain't even Arabs. We dressing like Arabs. Kufi on, the whole Arab thing. I ain't mad at them brothers. They just don't know. They just don't know. Black people in church had the white Jesus up to the 70s, 350 years. You had the white Jesus up on that damn wall. You got the suit on. You talking good English. You cut your hair off. Took away anything black about you. Straight women straighten their hair out, put big hats on to hide their hair. You being somebody else. You ain't got no identity. Who the hell are you? You got to go back and find your identity. That's why I love when the brothers bring out that archaeology. They pull that archaeology out, brother, and show you black people 4,000 years ago with braids on, and their name was Hebrew Israelites. Come on with it. When I see that, when they open up them records and show you the ancient Egyptians, and in Egypt had slaves, and the slaves look like Negroes right on the corner today, then I understand. Somebody done robbed us of who we are, and we're going to have to go back and get that. We ain't taking that lying down. We're going to have a sense of ourselves again, and that comes with knowing who you are, and that's why you can't have no God from somebody else. How you going to know you and you got somebody else's God? How? And wait a minute. How the hell somebody else going to have a God and you ain't got no God? Right. I don't even understand that. Like if you tell, listen, I know I'm crazy because if you got any God other than a God from your people, then you automatically saying, I'm a second-class citizen. Yeah. Yep. Right, am I wrong? No, if an East Indian God is the God of you, then he chose the East Indians before he chose you. So you a second-class citizen. If you worshiping an Arab God as your God, he chose the Arabs before he chose you. You saying, you choose one of them gods, you saying I'm a second-class citizen. You choose the white Jesus. And that's in every church. I don't care if they take the picture down. They still worshiping the white Jesus. They took the picture down to brainwash. They took the picture down because they knew that picture was giving too much evidence that that's not your God. So they took the picture down, but they stayed the same. You go up in there worshiping that God, you saying I'm a second-class citizen. And I'm sorry. After 400 years of slavery, I could have my own God. Damn right, that. Jim. I don't have to get somebody else's God to get blessed by the Father and to come out of the hell I'm in. And then I got to go get the God that put me in slavery by the hands of some other nation? No, man. No, you call me crazy. I only want one kind of God. That's the God that come from niggas. And I done found him in that Bible. In this Bible, you're going to find gods from black people that rose up in the earth, and he showed himself to be the God of those black people. And that's Jesus Christ's God and them Hebrew Israelites. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. It's all right. Take the mic. Yeah, give it to him.
Hey, I'm a little embarrassed to ask this question because it's a simple question. But I was reading that like throughout history about a lot of stuff, and sometimes they will say they'll use a location of Israel, but then sometimes they refer to people as Jewish. Is an Israelite a Jewish person? Is it? I'm confused about. Is that the same thing?
No.
That's not the same thing.
No.
Are black people Jewish or?
Black people in America that came over here in cargo slave ships are the descendants of the real Jews, the Hebrew Israelites. Because real Jews were not called Jews. They were called Hebrew Israelites. Judah is one tribe of 12 tribes. But the people were called Hebrew Israelites from their forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But what happened is, once we went into captivity, the whole transatlantic slave trade, Caucasoids, the same people up there that the Russians fighting right now, came down, adopted our culture under the Khazar Empire, and they identified themselves as Jews. Then in 1945, when the British government and the United States government bombed Germany into the Stone Age and took back the Middle East from the Nazi Party, they were going to try to set up a base in Israel to control the Middle East. But those white Jews who had converted said, no, we're Jews. We're Jews. That's our land. And they bum rushed them. You can go find the footage on the internet. They bum rushed the military bases that the British and the United States had set up for themselves. And they started flooding into the country. The Arabs were, at them, they were Bedouins. They wasn't a real nation or army. But these so-called Jews had lived in Europe. They lived in Germany. There was tens of thousands, it was millions of them. So they went down into Israel and poured in there. And in 1948, they declared themselves to be the real Jews. They declared the state of Israel. And thus began what you see today, a war between the white Jews and the Arabs. But those white Jews are just converts. They're not real Jews. They took our identity while we over here in slavery with no identity. They sitting up there ruling with our identity. So when we talk about Hebrew Israelites, we're talking about the original people that you read about in that Bible 4,000 years ago. And think about this. I always teach brothers this. Go look around the world in history. Right now, today in America, there is no people on the earth that don't know who they are or where they came from except us. Think about it. Go to any country. All these people know where they come from.
It leads me to believe that, because I'm, like I said, I'm not studying history. It's just a course that I have to take
For sure.
For computer science.
Understood.
But reading this stuff leads me to believe that it's something special about us, because I don't know why all of this different stuff, all these different people, and all this different stuff is so focused on us to set us back or confuse us or to destroy us or to separate us. So I don't get it. I'm like, why would somebody, as a person, if you're a good spirited person, you're not going to say, hold up, I got to stop this guy. It's 10 people in the race. I need to stop him.
Right.
Instead of just focusing on winning the race.
Exactly.
So I don't get it. With the race we in, it's 9 people trying to stop one person. Nobody's all focusing on winning the race. Everybody's just trying to stop this person from being in it.
Let me show you the exact scripture that you just quoted right now in the Bible. You know which one I'm talking about, in Egypt, where they said, I'm going to show you what you just finished saying. I'm about to read it out the Bible. Go ahead, General. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just going to just say, because they know that you, out of that 10, if you reach that finish line, that your boss, your God, is the strongest thing in the universe, and that you'll take over if you finish the race.
Let me let Yediah answer that. You can check us out. Tell them where you're going, Yediah. No. Give me where he said, let us deal wisely with it.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Check this out, brother. Now remember, when you slightly familiar with the Bible in terms of the ancient Egyptians, they had the Hebrews in slavery. Here's how they enslaved us. Check this out. This is one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. Go ahead.
Sir. Exodus chapter 1 and verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
This is the Egyptians discussing us. And as a matter of fact, go up above it and say where they afflicted us and we prospered. Is it above that? Yeah. Next verse after it or before it? Okay. Read it down then. Give me from 10 to 12. Because I want to get to the part where they decided how they was going to deal with us. I think above it says, get me right, y'all. Above it says why they came to this conclusion.
Yeah, it said verse 9 said they
Go-
said
go-
to get more and more. Start at verse 9.
Start at verse 9. Read it. Check this out, bro.
Exodus chapter 1 and verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
The children of Israel are more and mightier than us. Look at us in America. It's way more of us than these Edomites. They worried about this. They've been saying for years how America's changing colors. That the Edomites ain't having babies. They worried about that. Why you think they spending $500 million a year to keep Planned Parenthood open? Because they needed us to kill them 350,000 babies. Otherwise, we'll in 5 years we'll overflow this place with babies and children. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Why is it we used to have 10 to 14 babies just 2 decades ago? And now a woman barely could have 1 or 2 children. It's a whole different change. And the reason for that is because the Egyptians was watching us. And they were seeing we done got more mighty than them. Here's what their conclusion was. Go ahead.
Come on. Let us deal wisely with them.
Let's think about this. Let's be wise about it. Go ahead.
Lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid that black people and Latino people will come together and keep growing so big that if they get into a war, then we're going to turn against them. They're getting ready to break this economy now because they know they got to go to war with China over Taiwan. So they're going to break this economy. Why? They can't have you making money and wealthy and living good. They need you poor so you could join the fight or stay your behind at home. So they thinking ahead of time. We walking up to the most horrible time in the world is getting ready to come unfold in front of us. Go ahead, Ak.
And fight against us, and so get them out of the land.
You hear that? We might fight against them, they think, and get us out of the land, meaning we ain't gonna be their slaves no more. What black people and Latino people don't understand is that America is built off of our slave labor. They tell you technology and this and that. None of that's true. When that pandemic hit and we couldn't go to work, America damn near tanked. You ain't never seen starvation in America since 1929. You didn't see food shortages in America since 1929. We in 2022, almost 100 years later, and we having food shortages in America because why? Blacks and Latinos got cut off from being able to work. This whole country operates because of us.
Right.
And they know it. And they know the way to keep it operating is to keep us ignorant and dumb so that we don't turn around and start to help ourselves. So they kept doing it. It's biblical. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
They set over us taskmasters. They put pressure on us. It's your supervisors. Go ahead.
To afflict them with their burdens.
To put burdens on us. To afflict us. Hard work. Long hours. Low pay. All that is designed. Before the pandemic, McDonald's was paying niggas $7 an hour. Y'all got it? Give me a 1 if you got it out there.
It ain't come back yet.
Give me a 1. Give me a 1. No, they can't even hear me. Okay, it's back. It's back. Up to no. Oh yeah, there go the ones. There they go. All right. The water, y'all. The water. We back in the game. You understand? So, daggone, y'all. The whole nation wanted. All right, y'all. All right, chill. All right, the ones. I'm good. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we good. All right. Go ahead, Marah. Finish that. I'm sorry. Yediah, finish that. Salah.
Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them.
The more they afflicted us. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. The more they multiplied.
We had babies. The more we was in oppression, the more we had babies. That's why they opened abortion clinics. Go ahead.
Khan, and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
They can't stand us in this empire. They grieved because of us. Niggas taking over the city. We ain't gonna have food in the future. What you hear all the stories? You understand? Population control. We need to control the population. There's more food and land, man, to feed everybody on this earth. But thieves run the food and land. Bear with me. Let me finish it. Thieves run this land. And that's why it's a mess that it is. Go ahead. Show it to them.
Khan. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
They made us to serve with rigor, meaning you go to your job, you having harassment, hard time, you know what I mean, long hours, giving you all kinds of hell. Go ahead.
Khan. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
Come on.
And mortar and in brick.
Right, with mortar and in brick. And let me just explain something to you too. Everybody thinks that slavery in Egypt meant you did not get a paycheck. In Egypt, you did get a paycheck when you worked as a slave. And here's the proof of it. The proof of it is when Pharaoh got angry with us, he said, you got to make brick without straw, meaning he used to provide the straw. Pharaoh would give you the straw. Then you would make the bricks, and then Pharaoh would pay you for a certain amount of bricks. They used them bricks to build houses, to build all them pyramids and all of that. Well, Pharaoh would give you straw to do it, and then you'd sell the bricks back to him. That was the slavery, but it was slavery because you was getting just enough to feed yourself, and it wasn't even money. You was being paid with bread and wine and things like that. That's how you got paid in Egypt. So it still was slavery. Well, guess what? This is slavery too. If you go to work and you get your paycheck and it's only enough for you to pay back the very people that enslaved you in rent, in utility bills, in gas for your car, in food for yourself, then you're a slave. He's just making you feel like you're not a slave because he handing you the money to feed yourself. But before he did that, you was in the slave quarters. He still had to provide for you. You understand? Where do you think barbecue came from? Barbecue came from the slaves going out in the field and putting the meat on a low fire. The meat sat on a low fire for hours and hours and hours until the slaves came in the evening. That's why barbecue take 15, 16 hours. That's how many hours we were working. And then you come in and then the meat was tender and you put all the sauces on the meat. The leftover sauces from your slave master, you'd put them on the meat. That's where barbecue sauce came from. And that's how barbecue and smoked brisket and all that, that's where that came from. That came from your master. And most of the time, you was smoking a pig for all them hours. That's where pulled pork come from. Where they give it to you shredded, it's shredded because they pulling it off the damn meat like a damn animal because you was a slave. You out in the field all day. They handing you. That's what that is. So slavery don't mean you didn't get paid for what you. And that's the misconception in Black and Latino America. Because somebody hand you a paycheck doesn't mean you're not a slave. You're still a slave. The only time you're not a slave is when you are building and growing and gaining from your land. When you're doing it from your land, then you're not a slave because you're actually gaining something that's coming from the Lord. If you got your own land, rain come out the sky. It don't cost nothing for rain. Rain come down, hit the ground. That's what it do. You understand? The crops grow up out the ground. It don't cost nothing but the seeds to put them in the ground. They come up out the ground. You cut them off, that's your vegetables. You have gained something. You didn't have to work to get it. It worked itself and it came up. Animals have babies. How you think you have multiple sheep, multiple cow, multiple goats? Because the animals have babies. You feed the animals, and in many cases, they're finding out now, they opening up the Bible and digging up ancient ways of farming out of the scriptures. And guess what they found out? They found out the reason so many people are sick is because they feeding them grain instead of grass. Cows are supposed to eat grass, not grain. But they feeding them grain in these slaughterhouses, and it's making the animals sick because that's not their diet. That's why now the whole big thing in Whole Foods and Trader Joe's is grass-fed beef. Grass-fed beef is the best beef because they went and did the research and found out in the scriptures that we didn't feed the animals grain. We fed the animals the grass. We grazed them in the grass until they became full. And if you ever take out a grass-fed steak and a grain-fed steak, and if you ever look at the fat, you ever pull out a steak and it got that thick-ass strip of fat on the side? That's a grain-fed cow. A grass-fed cow, that piece of fat is not thick like that. It's tender because it's supposed to melt in the cooking. That thick one don't melt because it's grain. But that grass one will melt in the pan. And it'll melt in the pan because it's made to melt in the pan. It's a whole different piece of meat. That's how we grew our animals. But they growing them in grain. It's a whole different world. So the Lord gave us the animals, and they would grow on the land, and that's how you ate. And that's why he said, I will give you a land flowing with milk and honey. Because you would get everything up out that land and build you an empire. But this man put you on his land, enslaved you in his land, and then made you work to pay for yourself as a slave. That's why you died broke. That's why your family died broke. And he got so many games, like the scripture said, that let us deal wisely with them. They got so many games in it that they turn around and use them games to keep us oppressed. And so basically you just living to survive. And the only way you get out of that is to wake up and see that you're really a slave. If you could wake up and see slavery, you could change your life. I'm going to play a video now. And this video, you got to see this East Indian tell the truth about our condition. This is an East Indian with the full Punjabi head wrap on. And he came out with it. He's sick of everything that's going on. And he came out with it. I want y'all to please check all this out. Big shout out to Trooper Akaz Amar. This is all good new stuff. He said, there's new stuff. He didn't say those words. He said he never knew this. Damn right. That's why, and that's another thing. That's why our brotherhood is so important for brothers like this brother. Akaz got to get this. You understand? He need this. He need this so he can make an alternative choice than to go into the streets, than to go kill another brother, than to dope another brother. He got to have the right information. And not just the right information to make him a slave to another God, but the right information to make him free for him and his people. Don't nothing motivate a man more than to stand up and fight for his own. Look at white people. Mm-hmm. We fighting for America. Mega hats. Make America great again. Look at them. They in the gun range. And go turn on YouTube. They got all the camo and the guns. And they about America because it's theirs. It's their country. It's their identity. It's what they stole for themselves. They ain't saying, make America great. Let's help every North American Indian that we got the land from. He ain't saying that. He ain't saying that. He ain't saying, make America great. Let's make sure every black person has a home of their own. He ain't saying that. They give a damn about that. Make America great is about white people having their own empire and their own land and being motivated by it. You are unmotivated by it, so you become a cannibal of your own people. You sell drugs. You murder your own. You rob and steal. You turn you go worship gods from other people. You do it because why? Because you don't have no motivation for you and yours. But every trooper and every young man that come to learn this truth, he got to get it. And we got to make sure he get it because it's his freedom For real. It's his, and just think, I don't care how high you go up high enough in another God's religion, you're going to have to deal with the people he chose first. But if you get into and follow your God, you can go as high as you want to go. And it'll be you and your people. That's the God you worship. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. Okay? Let me play the video. I can come back to you. We got about 10 minutes, though. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, brother, beautiful, beautiful. Let's get it on. Come on, let's listen to this cat.
Bill is the same man who once offered up to 325 times that amount for the return of a runaway enslaved person. The man on the face of the $20 bill is the same man who once offered up to 325 times that amount for the return of a runaway enslaved person, including extra bonuses for every 100 lashes inflicted upon that man. He was a master planter who fertilized American soil with Native American bodies and hydrated Southern cotton fields with the blood and sweat of free black labor. Such an icon of white supremacy was he that nearly 200 years after launching the violent displacement of 100,000 non-white bodies, a piece of paper with his face on it was all the authorization they needed to suffocate a man to death while the world watched them do it. Big Floyd was murdered by police outside of a grocery store. See, my uncles also operate grocery stores, liquor stores, mini marts, and so on. That whole generation followed a pretty simple formula. You put your heads down, make your money, send your kids to good schools. See, what that actually meant was put your heads down and don't think about why this formula works out for you but doesn't always work out for everyone else. Why you get to own property in this neighborhood, but the people who live here can't. Why liquor stores like yours are in every corner, but fresh produce and after-school programs are pretty hard to come by. And definitely don't consider a centuries-long history in this nation that includes slavery, legalized segregation, a made-up war on drugs, criminalization of black and brown bodies, immunity for police officers when they commit crimes, and that's just to name a few. So what do? We put our heads down. We turned those Jacksons into Benjamins and those Benjamins into Benzes. We became well-educated, well-to-do, and accommodating. We complied with the status quo that keeps telling us that we're almost there, but just not quite dem enough until we shed every last remnant of our heritage, except, of course, for the ones that can be exploited for a diversity initiative or sold for profit. And in the meantime, we got all our music, culture, fashion, sports heroes from a community of people without ever having to reckon with the fact that we have been complicit in the violence against their very existence all along. We kept our heads down, now the joke's on us. We abandoned our homelands and everything we knew to escape poverty, to escape violent conditions, to escape systemic oppression. And this whole time, we remained silent while we watched those very same things happen to a group of people who are just slightly different from ourselves. We no longer have time to keep our heads down. Not now, not ever again. Listen to and learn from Black voices. Donate your time and your money to Black-led organizations and Black causes. Learn and vote in your federal and local elections. And hey, Bollywood, we don't want to hear any of this Black Lives Matter stuff from you unless you're also dealing with the casteism, colorism, sexism, Hindu supremacy, and support of state-sanctioned violence that's running around freely in your own industry right now. Black Lives Matter. Thank you.
Let me know when we back. Is that the bell downstairs?
No, I think it was from
from his show, his bill. Like they gave them a formula on how to build a empire, and the hell with us. Keep your head down, let us die, and that's what's happening to us. And again, unless we come out of it, we're gonna keep being that slave. We're gonna keep being destroyed. And once again, they got their culture, their identity, they living good. He said we turned it into Benzer. Kids went to school, and that's just not the East Indian. That's the Orientals. That's every group, because of course the empire knows. They know that if we keep these people oppressed and down, everybody can eat.
And that's what you brought out. The 10 runners is only that one they keep back. The rest are allowed to get businesses and flourish But that one, he can't let him do the same. You know, just like
No, that's right. Well, go ahead, General.
And that was it. So that's you the spirit you feeling and seeing is what the Bible is saying, is what the General's bringing out. Okay.
Right.
And what Punjabi just broke down.
Go ahead, Maras. 1 second, bro. Let me
if I may, I wanted to pull a scripture. Oh, read a scripture
get down,
for you.
get down.
So if I may,
go ahead.
I'll
let you back in.
Another precept. This Psalms 83.
Please,
the famous one, if I may, sir.
Hit that.
For it's Psalms chapter 83, verse 2.
You want your die to read it? Go ahead, your die.
You can read it. It don't matter, sir. I got it. Verse 2.
And you can break it down, Marav. It's all right. Your die, read it.
Come, the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Please.
Breaking down and bringing out is our enemies, and our enemies are the Lord's enemies, if I may.
Damn right.
He say thy enemies have made it a tumult. They make like a riot. You know what I mean? They and they that have lifted up the head have taken crafty counsel. Like just like he said, sir. Like they all know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they have to do to get further and get ahead. That's crafty counsel. Is a game plan that they playing, that they're using to get, above our people, or to continue to run the race and, and hold us back.
If that's part of the deal. Like America will set you up good in these neighborhoods. You can make all the money, but you don't let these people raise up. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the contract. Come to America and the land of the wealth and all that good stuff. But that ain't for these people. You know what I'm saying? Slocky.
Listen, damn right.
Slocky, Mariah.
No, you got it, sir. Or you can keep reading.
Come. And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And our hidden ones is us. They consulted together against us. Go ahead.
Come. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
And if I may, that's exactly what he was bringing out. And that's exactly what y'all broke down, sir. They consulted together and they confederate against us to keep Israel, to keep our name. Well, we got to go in the history books and figure out who we are. And really all they give us, I hate this about Black History Month, is like, look at all the bad we did to y'all. That's y'all thing. That's y'all history. Black History Month is we beat on y'all, we enslaved you. That's it. All right, it's over now.
And you had one good slave that took every whooping we gave him, and he
Shout out
persevered. And because he persevered as a good nigga, after all the beatings, we brought him on in and made him one of us. Ain't y'all amazing? You know what I mean? Like, that's your Black history. Be proud and let us continue to beat you. And we'll let another one in. Like, brother, they monsters. It was a lot.
And everyone should be like him.
Yes.
Everybody should be like this. You see how he took it? We beat the hell out of him. You see it?
Yeah,
they killed him.
Right.
But he took it, and now he played for our team.
Yeah.
Now he living good. All of you should be like that.
Brother, that's so right. Rod the God 84 said, now the Ukrainians about to do it. You so right. Now the Ukrainians about to get in and do the exact same thing that went on. You know what I'm saying? You was going to say something, bro?
I just wanted to say that this is like the first time that I've had the opportunity to be around some educated men that whether y'all guys are older or not, I don't think y'all that much older, but y'all educated with good intention. You're not seeking anything from anybody, so I know that it's just genuine about building the young men of my race. And this is my brother. Our father been in federal penitentiary in and out since we was kids. We haven't ever had him around longer than a year. So to be able to get some real information is like hard to sit still. Like I gotta figure this out then. You know what I mean? And I'm surprised. I'm gonna be honest. This guy, yo man, you gotta come out. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? That's all you crazy, man. I'm being honest, I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
You were wise enough. You were wise enough to come and inquire for yourself. At some point, you said, "All right, I'm gonna go take a look."
I took my words was I said, "Man, you represented so strong because he did something I wouldn't do." You know what I mean? And I respected it. Instead of being mad about it, I said, "You know, I want to get that for me." And what it was if somebody don't pick up my phone call for a few weeks and then they call me and ask for something, I'll be like, "Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna send you to the call back so I can send you to the voicemail." You know, and he ain't do that. He was like, "Oh, no, it's no sweat, brother. I got you." You know what I mean? And I said, "Well, all right, man. Everybody that's been there," and I'm talking about people I've been coming through for. They telling me straight up no. So I'm like, "Oh, he ain't going to do it." He came. You know what I mean? He came over the bridge, created a toll, came in the long place, then drove me somewhere else. You know what I mean? Yeah, come on, we're gonna do this. Put himself on the line for me. I said, "You ain't even asked me for nothing. You ain't even asked me for anything. I know you spending money. I know you spending money because it costs gas. Time is money. Then we gotta go here. You gotta get your people. You know what I'm saying?" I'm like, wow.
Why is he doing this? And
I said, "Why are you doing that?" He said, "Man, I know the truth."
Listen, let me give you another scripture. Hey, damn right. Damn right. All right. That's heavy. And listen, and all Robin that way with all of us for years. He been in out there. And I mean, if you see our Passover from doing shows like his show, we done got out there all over the world with this truth. We building schools everywhere. But there is something that we are gaining from this. We are gaining the blessing of our King after seeing our brothers become awakened and alive. That to us is the best gift we could ever have. You understand? To see black men with all that energy and power. I mean, if you ever I don't know if you've ever been locked up, but if you ever been locked up, you see some of the most amazingly powerful brothers and intelligent, wise. I mean, you be like the stuff that they could think of. Meanwhile, this brother is living in a cage, all because his early days was formulated by a beast that destroyed his life and knew that a percentage of his could not be allowed to flourish, or they would become the greatest people on earth, God's chosen people. So to see a brother come from that, turn it around and come out of that, and now become a freestanding righteous man under the name of the Most High is a gift for us like I can't even explain. Let me give you two scriptures real quick. Give me the one, which one I'm looking for? The one where the Lord said, where Paul and them rejoiced because they were beaten for doing the work of the Lord. And then give me the other one where the Lord say, the angels rejoice. Give me both of those scriptures, and you can check them out.
I just want to say it's a breath of fresh air, because what I see is, up until now, the only way I know that, and me and everybody that's in my circle, the only way we know to be able to make a better life is to abandon the rest of our people.
Boom. That's it.
The only time I seen
that's training.
What I see y'all doing,
and your brother doing,
unity working.
Boom.
So I don't have to betray or leave behind. That's the only way I could get better.
Listen, that's training. You see that? That's human training. Like we done been trained to be that way. I was trained the same way. We was trained to be that way. But now Christ coming back training us a whole different way. And here's the killer. His training is working too. You know what I mean? So it's getting there. I don't mean to cut you off, but we over the time. No, you good. You good. But I just want to read some of these comments. A sister, I believe this is a sister. No, this is a brother. Shamshuan I.S.U.P.K said to tell you it's home. You home. Okay. Mary Thomas said the I.S.U.P.K is awesome. You understand? Chantel Love said absolutely all praises. They praising you in here. Princess Itaria said it's glorious, sir. You understand? Did I get UPK officer Itazab, big up to Itazab, said it's a race to put everyone in front of blacks and Hispanics, talking about what they doing. Like, this is brothers and sisters online that never even met you, but they know, they understand, they hearing what you saying, and they know, like for everybody out there, big shout out to all Israel. Like this brother's a witness that he saw brotherhood before he even knew what the hell we was about. Before he even got to understand who we are and what we about, he came, for those of you that may not know, what's your name, brother? Because Sean is brother to Officer Marah. Y'all all know Officer Marah up in here doing the show with us every week. And he came and checked out his brother and saw brotherhood. You heard him bring the testimony that was put in Marah through the grace and mercy of the Lord. And then he came and seen the rest of us and seen that we growing in the right spirit. He's a witness that Christ is living in us and in everything we doing. He's like a witness to it. And man, and listen, and Amanabaf, how would I say it? This brother has been born again. Like this is a new day for you. Now you're gonna look at things differently. Now you don't, and here's the heavy part. What we were trained with, what you mentioned earlier about the only way was to get away. Also, part of that training is the only way to get over is to harm one of your own, to get over on one of your own. That's some deep training that just destroys us. Now you got options. Now you can be like, well, wait a minute. I could go the usual route, but there is another successful option. And brother, like the scriptures say this, if we was let alone, if we was let alone to do Christ's will, it said all men would believe in us. Like if nobody bothered us with this truth would come out the ground and be the greatest thing on the face of this earth. But they got to fight against us. But it don't matter because Christ's return going to end all of this. But let me read these two scriptures while we a little bit over the time. You holding both of them? Hit me with both these scriptures and we'll wrap up with this.
If I may, sir, the first one you asked for with Paul, was that in 2 Corinthians, sir?
The
11th chapter?
I'm not sure what I got.
I got the one in Luke. I don't have the other one about Paul.
Okay. Which one are you talking about in Paul?
Carnival
Khan. Give you all these last two.
Carnival Khan. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 24. Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods.
This is Paul speaking. He's speaking about us. Our brothers did this to this brother. Beat the hell out of him. He was trying to teach him the same thing we trying to bring out, and they was beating the hell out of him. Go ahead.
Carnival Khan. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
Listen, they stoned him one time, and you know, back then we stoned. They stoned him and thought he was dead. He under the rocks, still alive. They done hit him with all these rocks. He piled up the rocks all over his head. He's sitting up there under the rocks. When they leave, his boys come and dig him up out the rocks. He's still alive. He got stoned and lived. Go ahead.
Come on.
And you know somebody stoning you, they trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? What's some of them ball players? Them baseball player pitchers. Give me a couple of them names. Dow Strawberry and them. Them cats pitching 98 miles an hour. Right. Back then, they eating good food, no preservatives. Good. That rock might hit you at 110 back then. Bust your whole head open. They stoned this brother. Go ahead,
Carnival Khan, a night and a day.
Throwing them rocks.
Say again?
Benjamin was always good at
right. They know how to throw them damn rocks, man. You understand? Go ahead,
Carnival Khan. I have been in the deep and journeys often in perils of waters and perils of robbers and perils by my own countrymen.
Go ahead.
And perils by the heathen. And perils in the city.
Damn, Paul caught hell for us to get these records 2,000 years later. He was in peril, man. Go ahead.
Carnival Khan. And perils in the wilderness. And perils in the sea. And perils amongst false brethren. And weariness and painfulness. And watchings often, and hunger and thirst, and fasting often, and cold and nakedness.
Damn. He caught hell to do this work. Go ahead.
Carnival Khan. Beside those things that are without, that which come up upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
That comes on him every day. He wake up worrying about these groups of brothers that the Lord is building these churches with, which once again, he ain't thinking for himself. He thinking about these brothers in these schools. And that's what we supposed to be thinking about every day. Go ahead,
Carnival Khan. Who is weak and I am not weak.
He said, who among you is weak? I'm the weakest cat here. That's how he put it. Who's weak and I ain't weak? I'm weak as hell. Go ahead.
Who is offended and I burn not.
Right. Who's offended? You offended about something? Let me tell you about all the stuff I went through. That's what Paul's saying here. I done went through hell. Go ahead. Meaning he trying to say ways that you don't have to be turned against your own. Like you ain't really got no excuse once you wake up and you can now do the right thing. You ain't got no excuse because he's saying, look, I went through all this. You offended? I ain't. You weak? I'm not. I done caught all of it. Go ahead.
If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern my infirmity.
You see that? His sicknesses, his illness. He said, if I'm going to glory at what I suffered to help these brothers. Like, that's where we got to be. We glorying now in what we can take from our brothers. We got to glory in what we suffered for these brothers and for us. And tons of brothers in here have suffered everything. Family, friends, wives, money, their safety, their life in some cases. Go ahead, General Salaki.
I'm just heavy what you're bringing out and what Marah bringing out, because you're going to find in this family here, brother, this is, we roll because this is how our King Yahushua, the world calls him Jesus Christ, rolled. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ loved his brothers, man, and died for them. He did the ultimate sacrifice for them and ain't want nothing from them. Like you saying, like Marah, he reached out and he answered your call every time. He come run you around. He now hit you up for $100. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you let me hold a 50, man? Since I'm running you around. You know what I'm saying? He love you. You know what I'm saying? You is what he want. He want your brotherhood, your love. And that's what Christ taught us to want from each other. That's all we require, man, is family again. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's what got you. You right, General. You so right. Give it up. Go ahead. You got more in that verse? Go ahead.
The God of our Father, the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is blessed evermore, knoweth that I lie not.
He said, he knoweth I lie not. He's straight up. Give me the other one. We over the time on everybody, man.
Luke
15:10.
The book of Luke, chapter 15 and verse 10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth.
Damn. The angels sit up in heaven and be like, look, a brother done turned from the dark side. That's what the scriptures say. And that's real. How do we know it's real? Lord knows we've been living on the dark side. Like we ain't ignorant to that. We ain't ignorant to how evil it is out here and how we ain't locking our doors for nothing. We ain't carrying guns for nothing. You know what I mean? We ain't watching who rolling up on us for nothing. We know we in an evil world. That's the proof that the angels see that we in an evil world and they rejoice when we step up out of it. Like Marah is a whole different cat than you used to know. He's like a totally different brother. And that's the Most High work with him on that. You know what I mean? And just think how strong you got to be. Like, once again, this world tear you apart so bad that when you damn near feel like you got to get something from somebody because you suffering so much. But for you to get so much strength that you don't even have to have nothing from somebody to do something right to them, brother, that changes the world. Because the whole world is doing evil because it ain't getting what it's supposed to get. So now, if people just start doing the right thing while getting nothing, then, oh my God, the world gonna get right. And then the evil gets pushed out, and then we're gonna start to really flourish. And then we'll gain everything. That's why Christ said the gate's gonna stay open day and night. Why? Because once we get right, then everything coming in. Everything piling on. Everything is getting into its proper space. The scripture said this, seek ye the, y'all know this, seek ye the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added on to you. Like we go after the kingdom, and brother, we're going to get a real kingdom. Like we're going to actually get one. We're going to turn into a whole damn kingdom because once again, there's a world going on in the fourth dimension that we're not aware of. The whole world of God, the angels, and everything spiritual is unseen to us. And as a result, we beat down so much, we don't even look at the spiritual world no more. Damn near don't like looking at it because to us, we don't want to make a spiritual decision that's going to cut us off in this world. It's going to make us in more need. You know what I mean? It's going to make us suffer in this world. But the Lord is saying, nah, trust me. Step out here with me. Make nothing but spiritual decisions. even if it look like you're going to take a loss, and I'm going to show you how you're going to rise. Scripture said, we walk not by sight, but by every word of the Most High in Christ. Hey, we got to get up out of here, man. The water for all the brothers and sisters is coming through. ISUPK.com is the website. Support the truth. Pay your tithes. Check us out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. I want to thank the heavy hitters from coming in with me. General Mahakala, General Hazayan. Big shout out. Put your prayers out for General Muhammad, man. Bless him. Big shout out to Marah and his team, Yediah, Ibad, holding it down. The water for coming through. I'll see y'all next time live on the UPK fam. Shalom.
What's good now?
Let's make it this song, right? Yeah, I changed for the better. Put that old nigga in the shredder. But however, I could never take a step back for my pleasure. Change the weather. Ruger 5.7 on my dresser. Clip full with a lot of pressure. I forget that I made a special. I don't care, so I don't remember. Hitting treasures in my lecture. New texture, but the same message. Think rich, no think better. Chevy boy, I don't need a Porsche. Bucket clean and I feed the horse. Pull up on me, lose a bitch, ain't nothing to me. Ben Simmons, they ain't fucking with me. Take sides, you was set hopping. Heat on, you was flip-flopping. On the come up, then he start watching. We open doors like fuck knocking. Yeah, she see it and they don't believe it. Spit fire in my heart anemic. Make a choice, get in the van. Taking ground and become a man. You pussy, I'm straightforward. Take orders, give orders. Bend corners, set borders. Niggas fold like rich quarter. Lifelong, but my temp shorter. Only for the bullshit though. Counterfeit niggas, they be full of it though. I don't really hear what you into, nigga. We don't really care what you been through, nigga. I offend you, nigga. Sharp like a quick left turn in the venue, nigga. Cut right through it like a chisel, nigga. If I say that I mean it, and know I'm the meanest and one of the cleanest. I put it together and break it in pieces. I got plenty of time, I got plenty of ideas. You wouldn't believe it. I roll with the lions, you run with hyenas. I'm David inside of a killer arena for all of my people. I'm giving you all of the smoke. Stop saying the stuff that you won't really want to live up to. Live by a code, yeah, we stand up too. Say you get money, put bread up too. Saying you dumb, we fed up too. Fed up too in the league of my own. Just leave me alone. They gon' keep talking about me. I just keep going and going and going. It is what you're showing, and I'ma keep growing and growing and rocking and rolling. I take over low and I hold a position in any condition, completing the mission. You paying attention? I got a connection to sit in the session. Yeah, I changed. 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 You know I changed. You know I. You know I changed. You know I. Yeah, I changed. Yeah, I changed.